Shalom, when himself, source by giving no praise to Yahweh, but Hashem Yahushua, Bashem Kudash. Double honors to the apostle, great most of an honors to brothers doing the work of the Most High in truth and in sincerity. Yahweh is the real name of whom the world ignorantly calls God, Jehovah or Yahweh. His real name is Yahweh. His son's true name is Yahweh Shai. And when we pray Yahweh, Ba Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba meaning in, Her meaning the, and Shem meaning names, Yahweh, the name of Yahweh Shai. Real quick, this one is inspired. I was preparing another lesson, and basically I was gonna use this as the title, but I forgot how it was. It was really a phrase, so I looked into it because I've never, I've heard it in the film, but I've never really sat down to really listen or rather read the quote in its entirety, right? And when you read it, this quote goes in, right? And, it's what once again showing you that these elites know, man. These elites know when they when you got these film directors, they know certain things as well, right? Because I was reading through this and I just got a whole plethora of precepts, right? That we're gonna get into real quick. Okay, so we'll read into it, right? This is beware of the beast man, right? And when you read Job the 30th chapter, among the bushes they braid, which is like, and then also got the one in Daniel's later on, right, about how this man is the basest of man, okay? So that's referring to this Edomite, right? It says for he is the devil's pawn, right? Now, when you read Job the first chapter and Job the second chapter, and then I also forget the account where basically the Lord wanted to get rid of one of the kings of Israel, and he basically had a conglomerate of spirits. I hope that's the right word, but we basically a gathering of the angels in heaven, right? One of them was like, look, man, I can go and be a lying spirit, right? So people in this world have this idea that if anything evil happens on earth, right, that it's one of these spirits, as in like Satan's in control. But it's like, no, that's not what it is, right? Yahweh Hashem Yahshua controls everything. This is Amos 3:6. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in the city, and Yahweh hath not done it? Right? So everything that happens on earth, Yahweh Hashem Yahshua controls, right? And there'll be a whole load of precepts. I'm just trying to, this will be the account I'm thinking of. I'm sure of it. Just trying to see. Let's see, real quick. And I was saying something else. Isaiah 45:7, right? Oldie but goldie, right? I form the light and create darkness, right? I make peace and create evil. I, Yahweh, do all these things, right? So it's really the Lord Yahweh who's in control of everything, right? Not no damn Satan, right? The Lord is the one that's in control of it all. Okay, but he is Esau a pawn? Yes, and really, if you want to get right, we want to be accurate. Everyone is a pawn of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, right? It's just that some are of higher status than others, right? Scriptures talk about basically there is no such thing as free will, right? Job 33, right? Also, king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. A man devises this. What do you call it? A man. I forget how it's phrased. I think it's Proverbs the 20th chapter, right? But yeah. But is Esau, a pawn of Yahweh Shem Yahshua? Of course, right? This is Psalm 17:13. Arise, O Yahweh, disappoint him, cast him down, and deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. Right? He was referring to this devil, right? He's the sword of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Right? The Lord is the one that basically put him in the current position that he's in. When the Lord's getting ready to take him down, right? After he has fulfilled his purpose as the sword, right? This is Romans 9:21. Hath not the potter power over the clay of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and another unto dishonor? Right? And Israel were that vessel unto honor, right? But Esau was that vessel unto dishonor. This is what if the Most are willing to show his wrath and to make his power known, right? Endured with much long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction, because it's all about the glorying of Yahweh Shem Yahshua at the end of the day. Read Ezekiel the 36th chapter. It speaks about how the Lord is doing this for his name's sake, right? He's saving Israel for his name's sake, right? He's let us get way down, and he's let the basest of men, the beast man, come way up, right? I've seen servants upon horses and princes walking as servants upon the earth, right? And that's it, right? But it's all just to show the power of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, right? To control him, right? And it, in here as well, it speaks about Pharaoh, right? It says verse 17, Romans 9:17 now, right? It says, for the scripture saith unto Pharaoh, even for this same purpose have I raised thee up, that I might show my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth. I mean, this is modern, when you're referring to America, that's modern day Egypt, right? And in that same way, the Lord is controlling, right, these elites. The Lord is controlling, the kings of the earth to basically do His will, right? We're puppets of Yahweh Shem Shai. Rather, where we all are. But once again, in fact, this is going to touch on it, right? Sirach 33:12. Some of them hath he blessed and exalted, and some of them hath he sanctified, right? And some of them he sanctified, right? So this is, when you're referring to Israel, right? He says, and set near himself. But some of them hath he cursed and brought low and turned out of their place. As the clay is in the potter's hand to fashion it at his pleasure, so man is in the hand of him that made him to render to them as liketh him best, right? And that's it, man. The Most High has is in control of this whole thing. But in reference to Esau, Esau is the wicked, right? He's the sword of Yahweh Shem Shai, right? So as I said, is deep, because this is all of those precepts just for this literal first couple sentences, right? Alone among God's primates, right? And that's in the precepts, right? Because Esau is, we'll quote it, right? This is from Zondervan's Bible Dictionary, right? It says Edom figures prominently in the prophetic scriptures as the scene of great future judgment, right? She is the only neighbor of the Israelites who was not given any promise of mercy from the Most High. And in Zobadiah 1:18 says, and the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for Yahweh hath spoken it, right? And that's this devil for you, right? That's this devil for you. He just goes around. It's like I'm thinking about the next point, but that's this devil. He'll be in the kingdom for a period of time, but then after he's served his judgment, he's going to be done away with, and there'll be no Edomites left. Okay. And then, it goes on to say, he kills for sport or lust or greed, right? And that's, once again, that's this devil, right? Habakkuk 2:5, yea, also because he transgresseth by one. He pushes out his philosophies unto all the nations, right? He controls, these different nations by way of his philosophies, right? Because he understands he's been, saying the same trick that he's been doing since the garden, right? Going to these different nations, going to the woman, right? And understand she's the weaker vessel, and then using her to then allow all of this wickedness to be proliferated. Okay, it says he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, right? But gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. And when you see some of the videos that have come out on these Amalekites and what they're doing, man, right? Just legit playing Hunger Games with those Palestinians, right? So it says, shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay, right? And that's it, man. He just does all of this for greed, right? He cannot be satisfied, right? It says, yea, he will murder his brother to possess his brother's land. And man, if this ain't the Edomite, man, if this is not the Edomite, right? So it says what? It says he will murder his brother, right? So what? So I'm just get my space, right? This is Genesis 27:41, right? Now this is after Jacob supplanted Esau of the birthright. Now this was his, right? And if you want to get technical, This was Jacob's in the first place, because what does it say in the prophecy? That the elder shall serve the younger, right? So it was always supposed to be Jacob's anyway, right? But Esau, he gives it up for, because he's a bastard, right? Just, here it is. All he had to do was wait a little while, right? But now he wanted to sell his birthright, okay? But it says this, right? It says, and Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob, right? And then we read into here, right? It says Amos 1:11, thus saith Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever. And when you read Ezekiel the 35th chapter and 5th verse, it speaks about how he desires blood, right? And he's so like I'm gonna have to grab it. I forget how it's phrased. This is real quick. Ezekiel 35:5, right? It says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword, in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. And that's what this devil has done. It's perpetual hatred, right? When you look into this word here, right, Iwalam, right, for perpetual, right, long duration, antiquity, right. So from antiquity, this man has had a hatred for us, right, and has been, slaying our blood, right, so, slaying us, right. And then, well, what does it say as well? Let me jump real quick to Micah. All right, Micah 2, point 1 is in 2, right? Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand. And they cover fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in this house, even a man and his heritage. And that's what this devil does. He's got the power. The Lord gave him the power. Right now, what those Amalekites are doing, right? No one else would get away with that shit, man. He would be sending in the troops, right? He will be sending in, high precision and destructive weapons, right? Weapons of mass destruction. I saw a clip which allegedly shows the remains of a one of them Ishmaelites that had been run over by a bulldozer, man. Okay, no one else has powers to just do that with impunity. Here it is. There was an aid convoy, or rather, those Palestinians were going to try get some food, right? And then the Amalekite military just shot him. Just shot him, right? And then you're hearing the ways that the news is trying to spin it, and the whole world is like, y'all are some assholes, right? And then they've got oil, as when this first started, it came out that they had oil fields, right, just off the coast, right? So which makes you wonder, what the hell are they doing? But that's this man. That's what it's saying, right? He'll murder for, to get land, right? And the primary is Israel, right? Because ultimately we're the two main characters, Israel being the main character. Well, I always forget protagonist and antagonist, but Jacob is the main character, right? Esau is the secondary character, and these other heathens are bit part players, right? Yeah, they've had some important scenes, in this story, right? But for the most part, the Most High, ultimately the Most High is dealing with Israel, right? Isaiah 14:15, right? The nations are as a drop of a bucket, right? It says, so continuing on here, right? It says, let him not breed in great numbers, right? For he will make a desert of his home and yours. And that's what this man's been doing. He's just been going around making, a desert of everywhere. So like I forgot to read this from the previous point, right? It says Psalms 137:7. Remember, O Yahweh, the children of Israel, it's like the children of Eden are saying, in the day of Jerusalem, you said, race it even to the foundations thereof, right? And RASC means to destroy it, right? So destroy it even to the foundations thereof, right? That's it. So we can't carry on, all right. Why have I? Yeah. So let's read this, right? It says, for we'll make a desert of his home and yours. It says, shun him, right? And Esau's gonna go back into that place where he is shunned. Because what does he do? He goes around and he pushes things that are policies of death, right? Which, it's a lesson I've been trying to put together for a few days, but the spirit's not had it come out just yet, right? But that's what this man does. He creates policies where nations are dying off. Nations are legit dying off right now because of this man, right? This is Proverbs 29:16. It says, when the wicked are multiplied, transgression increaseth, but the righteous shall see their fall. First Maccabees 1:9. And and this is going back into the time of Alexander, right? So wherever this is spanning time periods, right? This is so it's like let me start that again, right? So in Proverbs it says when the wicked are multiplied, transgression increaseth, right? But then you read about Alexander and his four generals, right? And how when his four generals were in power, transgression increased, right? First Maccabees it's like First Maccabees 1:9. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves. So did their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth. Right. And once again, linking up with this precept here, right? It says, whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, right? But we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Yahweh of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw it down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, because wherever this man goes, wickedness follows, right? And his wickedness, once again, is policies of death, or rather, part of his wickedness is his policies of death, right? Because once again, scriptures talk about how, the wages of sin is death. Okay, so if these ways are contrary to the scriptures, right? That's what says in Psalms 15:16. Seest that thou cast my words behind thee, right? If he's doing that, that means death follows him. Okay, what do we want here? Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, so it says shun him, right? It says shun him, right? Drive him back into his jungle lair, right? And yeah, when you read it, scriptures will say also what him that dwelleth in the clefts of the rock, right? Because these Edomites are base, okay? They're base and they're beastly. Now the Lord has put him in this position of power. He's given him weaponry to take peace from earth. However, he's still the base of men, and in the kingdom, right? What does it say? This was he who made the earth to tremble, right? This was the hammer of the whole earth, right? It says Daniel 4:17. This matters by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the basest of men, right? And that's Esau, man. He's the basest of men. You look at these other heathens, and these other heathens are heathens, right? Let's not get it twisted now. Let's not, these other heathens are heathens, but Esau's the heathen of the heathens, right? He's the basest of men, right? Job 30:5 says, they were driven forth from among men. They cried after them as after a thief, to dwell in the clefts of the valleys, in the caves of the earth, and in the rocks. Among the bushes they brayed, under the nettles they were gathered together. They were children of fools, yea, children of base men. They were viler than the earth, right? So that's what it's going into here, right? Now drive them back, right? And then the last point, it says, for he is the harbinger of death, right? It is Revelation 6:4. Right. In fact, let's look into this word here, harbinger. I forgot what it means. Right. It says a person or thing that announces or signals the approach of another. Right. But yeah, he's the harbinger of death, man. It says, and they went, Revelation 6:4, and they went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword, right? And that great sword ultimately is the ICBM nuclear missiles, right? This nuclear weaponry that this man has, okay? And then that's ironically gonna be his end, right? The same weapons that he worshipped, and even in the I think in the first or second one of Planet of the Apes, right? They actually worship a nuke, right? But these weapons are gonna be to Esau's destruction, right? But he's the one that's taking peace from the earth, man. So Like I said, it is a heavy quote. I'd never really like sat down and actually fully read it, and I was like, right, this is just like precept after precept after precept, right? So as always, Lord's without edifying. Till next time we say Shalom.